Hello children, today we are going to see class 4 science term 2. The unit we are going to see today is unit 2 water. First, let us see what is meant by water. Water is a colorless liquid. Water is used in our day-to-day life for drinking, bathing, washing, cleaning, etc. We get water from rain and it is found in rivers, seas and lakes. Now let us see the introduction. Water is found in large amount in earth. 2 by 3rd of the earth is covered with water. Without water, life cannot exist on earth. All living things need water. Water is found in ocean, seas, lakes, ponds, rivers, streams and underground water. First picture, ocean. An ocean is a body of water that composes much of a planet's hydrosphere. There are 5 oceans in the world: Arctic Ocean, Southern Ocean, Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean and Pacific Ocean. The second picture is sea. There are 7 seas in the world: Arctic, North Atlantic, South Atlantic, North Pacific, South Pacific, Indian and Southern Oceans. Next picture, river. A river is a natural flowing water course, usually fresh water, flowing towards an ocean, sea, lake or any other river. The next picture is stream. A stream is a body of water with surface water flowing channel. So stream is a monthly flowing river. If the rain exists, it will flow. If does not, then it will not flow. Next picture, lake. A large area of water that is surrounded by land. Lakes are deeper than ponds and have large surface area. So the area of the lake will be very large when compared to the pond. Next picture, pond. Ponds are shallow and have smaller surface area. So ponds will not be that much deep. It will be little deep, that is shallow. And small surface area when compared to lake, it have very small surface area. Groundwater. Groundwater is present beneath the earth's surface. So below the soil there will be a water layer. So that is called as groundwater. Nowadays we get water through bore wells. So the underground water is used for daily purpose. The next topic we are going to see today is changes of state in water. So, what are the forms that the water have? Water occurs naturally in 3 forms. So, first one, ice, water, water vapor. So, solid form means ice is the solid form. The water we drink in our day-to-day life is liquid. And the third one, when you heat the water, the vapors will come out. So that is called as gas. It will be mixed in the atmosphere. This is the flow chart for the given changes in states of water. The first state is solid, that is ice and snow. Second state is liquid, drinking water. And third state is gas, that is water vapor. So let's see some pictures of solid, liquid and gas. So ice, water, then water vapor. When you eat some water, you get this water vapors. So states in water, solid, liquid, gas. When you keep the ice in the normal room temperature, it changes into liquid. Then when you heat the liquid at 100 degrees Celsius, it becomes gas. Let us see the next topic, solid state ice. How does a water change into solid? Ice is a solid form of water. Water ice below 0 degree Celsius. The process in which the water turns into ice is called freezing point. Water on cooling and below 0 degrees Celsius changes to ice. That is given in the arrow diagram. Next topic, liquid state, water, the normal water we drink in our day-to-day life. Water in liquid state is available in water bodies such as ocean, rivers, waterfalls, etc. And it is also found in ponds, lakes, rivers, streams. Okay, the next topic is gaseous state, water vapor. Water becomes water vapor as the temperature increases due to heat. So when you heat the water to 100 degrees Celsius, it changes into water vapor. Heating forms a white mist of extremely small water droplets in the air known as water vapor. So how does the water vapor be? It has many small droplets of water. So water on heating to 100 degrees Celsius changes to water vapor. That is given in the arrow diagram. The next topic is water cycle. In nature, water keeps changing its state. Due to sun's heat, water in oceans and rivers changes into water vapor and rises up. So, water changes into water vapor on sun's heat. That is called as evaporation. Next topic, condensation. The water vapor, when comes into contact with cool air, becomes water droplets. This is called condensation. Next, the water droplets changes into clouds, then it becomes very heavy, then it falls as rain. The water droplets combine to form clouds. The water droplets continue to combine and they become big and heavy. These water droplets then fall down as this is called precipitation. So, snowfall. In colder places, combined water drops come down as snow, sleet, or hail. So, water cycle. This is the way the water cycle occurs. First, the water in the oceans and lakes get evaporated, then it get condensed, then it fall down as rain. This rain is called precipitation. This overall cycle is called water cycle. So, the next topic is importance of water cycle. It improves the availability of groundwater. So if the rain is good, the water will be stored in the ground to control the earth's temperature. If there is no rain in the earth, then it eats up the earth, so the temperature will increase at the very high rate. To provide water to plants and animals, especially humans. So all living things need water. So water cycle is very important on earth. To recycle the earth's supply of water constantly. So the water gets circulated in the earth. So brain's mass. 73% of our brain's mass consists of water. So our brain is composed of 73% of water. Next fact, the Antarctic region has about 70% of the world's fresh water. So 70% of fresh water is stored in Antarctic region as ice. The next topic is rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is the process of collecting and storing rainwater for future use. So the rainwater has to be stored. Rainwater can be collected in natural reservoirs or artificial tanks. Natural reservoirs means ponds, lakes, all these comes under natural reservoirs. Artificial tanks means we have to construct them, that dams, otherwise any tank like structure, and we have to store the water. Rooftop harvesting. Rooftop harvesting is also a type of rainwater harvesting. The rainwater on the top of the building is collected and passed into the ground through pipes. Water passing through the pipes enters the pit, which consists of gravel and coarse sand. Sand of different sizes. As it passes, impurities are filtered and stored as groundwater. So from rooftop, that is building top, they collect the water through pipes and store it in a well type structure. Then it will be purified through different types of sand. Then it is stored as groundwater or discharged into wells. So that is what is showed in the picture. Rainwater harvesting is the only way to conserve rainwater. So now there are more buildings, there is more lack of empty ground, so water has to be stored through rainwater harvesting. 1 inch of rainfall on a 2000 square feet roof is equal to 4800 liters of water. H2O is the chemical formula of water. So water can be called as H2O. Next, the benefits of rainwater harvesting. It increases the groundwater level. So groundwater level gets increased. It can be used for agriculture. It increases the availability of water to living things. Rainwater harvesting was launched in the year 2001 by the Tamil Nadu government. Tamil Nadu is the first Indian state which made rainwater harvesting as mandatory. So, while constructing, this measures has to be followed so that the groundwater can be conserved. And we are the first state to implement it as compulsorily. If you like the video, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.